We're back with Code Geass. Except we're not. We're watching
quite an opener.
That's quite an opener.
Good evening, audience. Here is I'm going to break trust with you and tell you a lie. We're not watching the show that we were watching.
Ladies and gentlemen, good evening. No, we're not watching Code Geass. If you watch the channel update video we put out, we're going to be kind of marathoning and blitzing through Baccano before getting back to that.
Baccana. Baccanana. Baccanono. Baccanina.
Excuse my reach as I...
Just don't spill coffee on me.
Don't spill coffee. Right, so in the update video, we kind of went through this, talked about some other things. So, the show Baccano, kind of 1920s, roaring 20s, Depression, Prohibition era, takes place in America, so we got a lot of that stuff going on.
I made predictions based on the imagery and the artwork, didn't read the back paragraph, but today, before we start, I'm going to read the back paragraph aloud to you so you know what it says, and then we'll try to track the predictions that I make being right or wrong. Shall we?
Let's shall.
A life of crime can last forever. Ellipses. If you don't know what an ellipses is, it's just a ... Don't let nobody tell you there's no future in a life of crime, because some rackets can last forever. But we'll get around to all that immorality jazz later. A mafia turf war is raging on the mean streets of the Big Apple, a place where regular Joes bounce between backdoor booze joints and the bread line. But this capper ain't about a simple gangland brawl. It's about hoods who can't seem to die proper after catching a bullet or 5 between the eyes. Sadistic hitmen and the dames they love, mad bombers going boom, monsters going bump, and soul-sucking alchemists bootlegging elixir of eternal life. Just remember, Baccano ain't about beginnings and endings. It's about the twists, the turns, bub. It's about the twists and turns, bub. Paths don't cross in the story. They collide. Every Dick and Jane plays the lead, and it's gonna be a bumpy ride.
Okay, I don't know if this is the perfect example or the worst example, but I've always found it really hilarious the way Western, or I guess American, localizations and adaptations of anime market their products, and it's just a hoot. I can't tell if this is the worst summary of it or the best. I don't even know.
And I don't know if you can tell that I was stumbling across the
word paper.
Yeah, well, that's part of it. The fact that I've never read this before, so it's definitely choppy. So it's definitely going to be a show about crime. It's going to be, as you said, 1920s, Prohibition. It's on a train. Apparently New York City's a part of it. There's gangs. There's dames. The hitmen apparently are sadistic. And there's terrorist bombers? Mad bombers going boom. Monsters. So hopefully we'll see some sort of big, scary krakens or dragons or griffins or pegasi. I don't know, something. Hydras, maybe. That could be fun. Alchemist bootlegging and elixir of eternal life. So, okay. So here's a through line of prediction. The alchemists who are bootlegging the elixir of eternal life are being chased after by probably a government of some kind to get their hands on it, as well as being chased after by the mafia who want their hands on it because it's probably good for the selling. And I bet you there's some regular Joes who are going to get wrapped up in it, and some regular Janes going to get wrapped up in it. And I bet the regular Joes and Janes are going to somehow team up with the alchemists to find themselves, just swept up into the story. Apparently the alchemists are also soul-sucking. So they may have made contracts with demons as well. Or witches. Who knows? Stay tuned for this episode of Baccano.
Oh, it's just the biggest biggest smile on my face while you were reading that and talking. Oh,
Nope.
they can't even see that.
Okay.
It's just gonna fall over. All right, so we're gonna start the episode. As we mentioned before, we're gonna try a little bit of a different format, see how it goes. We will have a time code playing as we're watching it. You can follow along with us with your own copies, and then after the episode's done, we'll talk just like before. So here we go. Let us begin with the first episode of Baccano. Ready?
Yep. You can just give a thumbs up or thumbs down to that. All right, that's not an answer.
It's a big cast of characters there.
I do like, I didn't mention this before, but I really like when they do something like the letter A, where they kind of don't,
Yeah,
I don't know if you put the image
I have
in later.
this font. I have this font on my computer, and the font has the line through the A, so they've customized the font to get rid of the A.
Nice. Yeah.
Line through it, yeah.
I like when they mess with fonts like that.
For logos and stuff, yeah. All right, I was in jazz band in high school, so music like this is just a bit of fun for me.
I was not in jazz band. I bowled in high school and also briefly did martial arts. So that was my extracurricular endeavors. And I played Halo and went to tournaments for Halo. That's about it. So this child is in a library of a house, flipping through somebody's books and paperwork that she probably shouldn't be.
Hello, sir.
Have some grace about yourself.
Oh, I'm sorry. I guess I got carried away.
What are you doing up there anyway?
Well, honestly, sir, I was thinking about the story.
Story?
Well, I just can't seem to stop thinking about the series of strange events that began back in November of 1930, sir.
There was a time not too long ago when you and I traveled together on a train. Do you recall this? I said something to you on that journey. I wonder if you can remember what that was.
Let's see. Wow! A rainbow!
Carol. From the time we are but children, we see rainbows as beautiful things. Without a doubt in our heads, upon sight, they are harmonious to our spirit. I've always wondered why that was. Of course, people who do not understand science or the refraction of light might see this anomaly in the sky as a harbinger of a natural disaster, thinking that something
Since when do people think rainbows are harbingers of natural disasters?
You said maybe. Not that that was the case, this is maybe.
Literally never heard that ever from anyone.
At any rate, we still see these seven
He's asking a question.
information with a sense of fairy
He's talking to himself.
Haven't you ever thought about that, Carol?
Well, no. And even if I did think about it, I couldn't tell. And besides, it's not even part of our job to think about things. We report to others the outcome of things that happen.
319 points.
Out of how many?
It's true that our job is to convey truth to others, but we can never stop thinking. Especially not in those moments when we are obtaining information. Thinking clearly is paramount at those times. In fact, Carol, to stop at simply determining whether information is true or false is reckless and abdicates the responsibility of those who deliver information to others.
Okay, but what is there to think about? You can think about something all day, but it doesn't change whether it's true or not.
Waiting for him to show us a paper crane that he made.
Does change.
Vice President.
What we report is neither unaffected information nor perceived information. It's the precursor to a conclusion. Tell me, you could have chosen any date on the timeline, but you selected 1930 as the point these stories began. Why? How can one not have the answers to these questions and call themselves the assistant to Gustave Saint-Germain, the vice president of the Daily Days? Perhaps you'd like some help.
What's she, like 10?
The year is 17.
I feel like it's a poor assistant choice.
Best to start this tale inside the Advena Avis as it crosses a particularly desolate stretch of the Atlantic. Of course,
This is probably The Alchemist.
the nasty business that happened aboard the Transcontinental, Flying Pussyfoot, an account that concluded so atrociously.
Nice 3D effect.
Swiftly covered up. Now, Carol, with the knowledge of those stories as well as the dozens you must have absorbed from all these books strewn about, you have chosen November of 1930 as the beginning. Why is that?
Well, Mr. Vice President, I was thinking about how to make the story easy to understand, and I thought, well, the easiest way to see this is through our eyes, so I picked the time when the whole mess was first brought
There's a weird flash.
Smart, huh?
156 points.
Out of how many?
While that's the easiest way to see this mosaic, you should think about more than time. The characters are crucial elements as well. Do not neglect to consider them. Let's say...
What's with the point system?
What if we were to look at the eccentric pair of robbers and see the two of them as our central players? Or perhaps... the young man who suffers with a cursed destiny.
So here's where we get the setup.
Or perhaps...
Wow, not gruesome at all. Gangsters.
the Gandor family's brilliant young capo. Or perhaps...
What about this guy?
Sir, do you have any charity to offer?
No.
The Lord is watching your actions. The Lord will judge your actions. In time, he...
That's not how you earn money, my friend. You're right. God bless on cardboard.
He's main character-ish.
Ish?
Yeah, ish.
You're in luck. I'm feeling generous today. Here you go.
$400 in ones.
Thank you very much, sir. The Lord is sure to bless your actions. No doubt you will be very blessed,
Yeah, that old
sir.
pious when it suits you bit. You should kick that to the curb, old timer.
Hold on a minute. I got something for you.
We're all pious when it suits us.
Say thanks.
They're probably dead anyway.
You're closer to the mark than you think.
Show you have a wallet full of money in front of a homeless person in the back alley.
Caught the blade with his hand. Interesting. Oh boy.
All right. Tell me something.
Stay back. Get away, you monster.
Old timer, did you know that I'm Firo Prochanezo of the well-respected Martillo family? Did ya?
He probably did. That's why he probably attacked you.
I see what
I like the
main character
cut on similar shots there.
may indeed be right
I noticed that in the opening. That there was some,
Still,
like, throw a dart, dagger, cut to a different character.
characters you focus, the same incident will behave like the surface of the ocean. Changeless yet ever changing. In other words, there may be but one event, but as many stories as there are people to tell them.
He talks too much.
Interesting point, though.
You know,
There's as
when
many
mobsters attack like that, they just remind me of the Redcoats from the Revolutionary War, where they're like stand in a line and like all fire. Like one grenade, done. Or one like
well-
fair shooter, done.
Grenades weren't readily available during the...
Okay, just 1920s.
For warnings or negotiations. Now it's our time. Nobody else exists in our world. It doesn't matter who you are. Candles, Martillos. I don't care. You burn existence wiped off the face of the earth.
That's poor leadership because then you don't have any slaves to do the work. I read the Dictator's Handbook recently. It's just bad to kill everybody.
Dead yet?
You kill some people, not everybody.
Seeing if he's sensitive enough to feel more pain.
Boss, we just got hit again.
What's the damage?
A gambling parlor and a speako downtown. Oh, and a ticket window too. Lucky nobody got dead. Damn Runarotas! I'm gonna blast them all to hell! They're dead! Every last one of them! We got one of the guns who knocked over the ticket window and dragged him back here to see what he knows. Let's see him. You bastards think you can come after our turf and we'll just turn a blind eye? Huh?
I don't know what game he's playing by himself.
Got quite a fire.
Solitaire?
Don't have a hand like that though, Solitaire.
Wait,
1920s solitaire?
starts when the Mafia and the Camorra go after each other?
Consider this.
Baccano is now pushing daisies. We heard he could hold his own, but he certainly showed us otherwise. The Gandos are just small time, boss. It won't take much trouble to wipe them out. We've made arrangements to purchase a new kind of bomb from a very exclusive source. And after that, we can take on the Martillos.
Never mind that now. There's another task that needs your attention.
Yeah?
Leans in to whisper, they're the only people in the room. Come on now.
Or perhaps
Again, nice cut.
Where are you?
Put him on a milk carton.
Carol. It wouldn't be too surprising for you and I to be the people, or the characters who begin this tale.
Holding a monocle in your eye requires a lot of muscle.
How's that for an episode title?
You know him, right?
Yeah.
I like the coloring.
He is
The vice president doesn't say anything about the possibility of him being the main character.
instructions from me. He also just happens to be the younger
Nice
brother
flex,
of a
bro.
man you
False humility.
named Jeffrey Genowad. You follow?
Right. But what about Dallas?
Dallas contacted the office. Said that you were the one who killed his father and brother. Also said he had proof, Gustavo.
No, that ain't right. I even paid off the guys at the court. There's no proof nowhere.
Then how is it do you suppose Dallas fingered you?
He did?
I want you to deal with it. Find Genowad and bring him here to me.
Sir, but what do you want me to do about the Gandos?
Dallas has first priority. Find him as soon as possible.
Yes, sir. Can I make the call on whether he comes in dead or alive?
Dead or alive. Knock yourself out.
I'm sure I've commented on this before at some point. I think anime has really interesting framing.
Listen up, man.
Like how they chose to frame it with his eyes off the frame there.
I want that no good second son of the Genowads brought here dead or alive. That spoiled son of a bitch is gonna pay for making a fool of me.
What a
and the
wretched
entire
bastard.
Runerada family. Say something, will ya? Open that ugly mug of yours. Where's the pair of balls you had when you attacked us? Huh, punk?
It's a little different when he's tied up on the ground being beaten to death.
You were talking to that
Oh, it's exactly the same.
Oh, right. It's really a no-win situation in those conditions.
Look of a man who's seen a ghost.
You should be dead.
Mr. Chick, come here, please.
What is it, Mr. Luck? You got something for me?
They must pay a lot for dry cleaning, too.
Fit one more
With all the
into
blood.
schedule?
Whatever you need, pal. But I haven't washed the blood and grease and piss from my tools yet. So I get the feeling it's gonna hurt a lot.
Just bleach the collar.
I'm sorry about that.
Please, no more. I'll tell you anything you want to hear. Just don't let that freak get his hands on me.
Who was it? Who thought that they could ventilate me?
You know, you look kind of creepy when you make that face. What are you reading there, pal?
Thy soul shall find itself alone, mid dark thoughts of the great tombstone. Not one of all the crowd to pry into thine hour of secrecy. Be silent in thy solitude, which is not loneliness, for then the spirits of the dead who stood in life before thee are again. I used to be so scared of this poem I couldn't stand it. But now, it doesn't seem to bother me. Not since what happened a year ago.
Why is that?
Maybe since I lost any need to be afraid, I also lost any feelings of anxiety. Towards death, I mean. Come on, Firo, don't you ever think about it?
No.
Forget I said anything.
And done. Word out there's that a strange bunch have been hanging around our turf lately.
My money says whoever it is, they got the runner-outers backing them.
I'll be there to help you when the shit hits the fan.
Which will be right now.
Just pretend you don't know. You realize that's our biggest problem.
That's a standoffish thing to ask.
We just need to leave the Martillos out of this one. And don't worry about it. I called in Vino.
Vino? Claire's coming in?
He's gonna be on board the Flying Pussyfoot, which will arrive tomorrow.
I think Isaac and Miria are riding on the same train. I also heard something about an old friend of Miser's being on board.
Then why don't we pick them up together?
There it is. It's nice to be shot if you can regenerate yourself. Take a bullet for a lot of friends. There's so much going on right now.
Yes, the damage they took was severe, but there's no mistaking that these were once passengers aboard the Flying Pussyfoot. How many bodies so far? It's rough, but what we come up with is in the teens. Their bodies have been left along the tracks here and there over 20-some-odd miles. Please, inspectors, what on earth has happened out here?
It's classified.
You're better off not knowing.
We're better than you. We're not going to tell you anything.
Immortals?
Yeah, their names were on the passenger list at the station in Chicago.
What about the lady's safety?
Our orders are to investigate that next. You think we can do it? Keep something like this covered up? Inspector Sullivan? What is it? It appears there's a survivor who's been found among the bodies. There's what?
And the two guys in the library come out alive.
Bookstore.
Whatever.
Mr. Luck? Yeah, I'm fine. They hit you?
But they got you! I saw them cut you to shreds with my own 2 eyes!
There's no problem.
Halberd.
There shouldn't be, right?
It doesn't hurt.
Isaac, your wounds disappeared. It's like it never happened.
It's a lot of people.
Trick.
What's next? Doves?
Doves.
Just think about Joe Bluth from Arrested Development. He puts a dove in his coat pocket, walks into a door, and he's like, "What's your return policy on doves?" And then puts it in the freezer because it's dead.
Useless thug.
He's supposed to be a magician. Flying kick. He didn't announce it. It's not an anime.
But how? You should be
Oh.
dead after that.
And that guy kicked in the face is the same guy we saw dead earlier in the episode
Where'd you run off?
in the torture room with the scissors.
Okay.
You see his face again.
At least
Oh,
we can do
gotcha.
this much for you.
We'll cover all of the damage.
What was the torture guy's name? Chick?
I didn't see anything. As far as I'm concerned, this happened while I was out. Besides, if I ever told anyone what happened here, they'd lock me away in some loony bin.
And you, I don't think we can ignore what you boys have done. I'll find you. I promise.
That train sound effect sounded a little distorted, like. Yeah, anyway.
From what I hear, the flying pussyfoot is unusual. A real one of a kind.
Those are both kinder terms than I'd use to describe it.
Like the Hitokage, one of a kind.
Calls it gaudy. Personally, I'd call it ostentatious.
I want to see it more now.
Don't get your hopes up. They made an announcement a moment ago that the Flying Pussyfoot had a breakdown and all the passenger cars were switched to another train.
What? Are you kidding me?
Afraid so. They're gonna trade out the lead car with a smokeless electric engine before it even enters Manhattan. So yeah, it stinks for you. You'll miss seeing all its...
Kind of looks like Grand Central. A little bit.
I haven't been there.
So, about this old friend of yours, Miser.
Imagine it also probably looked different 100 years ago, too.
Need to worry?
Maybe. I mean, it's a pretty old building.
He's introverted, but he carries the weight of the world on his shoulders, so...
Just call him Atlas.
See him as fragile.
The type who wouldn't last long if he was a normal person.
Claire's the same way, but for the completely opposite reason. I mean, he's cheerful, yeah, but too damn stubborn.
That's the truth.
Hey, 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 hey! You bulls gonna stare at me all day while I bleed out? Or you gonna take me in? You might not tell by looking at me, but I'm in a pretty foul mood today. If I'd have known this is what would happen, I would have made absolutely sure to kill you sooner. If you like, I could kill you right here.
But Ned, you don't...
What's the matter, sweetheart? You saying you don't want to be killed by me?
No comment on that, because I have no idea what's going on.
Ow, it hurts. It hurts. Just give me a minute. I'm sorry, niece, but can we please just go a little slower? This is killing me.
Is that a person? Hey there! Are you all right? And there's Firo and Miser! Long time no see, my fine
What a weird hug
Wonderful. It's really good to see the two.
from the guys.
What happened? You look like hell ran you over. Easy.
You live long enough, and someday I'll tell you the story.
Oh.
Good to see you, kid.
Does he have his eyes open?
It's one of those anime like character design tropes of the person's like, oh yes, I can see. You very nice, very nice. So we have to watch the next episode previews. We absolutely have to.
Is that what we're gonna do?
Yes.
Okay.
This series, they're a treat in my opinion. But
Like a Hershey Kiss, or like creme
Like,
brulee, tiramisu.
like a nice glass of brandy on the rocks.
How many times have you ever had brandy?
Maybe 3 times.
What kind of brandy was it?
Oh gosh.
Bottom shelf, mid shelf, top shelf? Also-
Probably mid shelf.
Why is it on the rocks?
I don't know.
I'm just asking questions about your drinking
They're-
preferences.
So there's something about the mixture of a
Of
half
water
chilled.
and my alcohol.
No. Not ice, but actual like rocks. So it's not watered down.
Okay.
But just it being cold does something. Don't know how to describe it.
Yeah, it means it's not warm.
Hey, Miria, where do you think this aside place is?
Well, it's not here, right?
Oh, So wherever it is, it must be somewhere.
So where is somewhere?
Didn't you hear? It's a side where the old woman's qualms are.
That's incredible, Isaac. You're so smart.
That's the trait you were talking about?
There's a lot of episodes. I'm saying watching them for this series is going to be a thing. We're going to watch
That's
them.
fine. I just figured it would be more than, you know, 15 seconds.
Okay. All right.
Normally it's like
All right.
long, like 40 seconds, I feel like.
I feel
where
like
they're like
40 seconds is a long
40
next
seconds is
episode
long.
promo.
That was more like, this is a better probably assumption. That was more like 7 seconds, and normally they're like 20 to 25 seconds.
Okay.
You know
Fair
what I
enough.
mean?
I get you.
Because the Code Geass ones were like, there's a good 20 seconds or
Maybe.
25 seconds of review
Possibly.
and moving forward.
Yeah.
That was just 5 to 7 seconds.
It's the two of just these
Title,
two,
a brief
two
image,
characters,
and a voiceover.
just these two characters
I literally
talking around the title of the episode, setting the woman's qualms aside, the flying pussyfoot
Yes.
departs, and they're like, oh,
Yes.
where's this aside place? No. Anyway. So.
That wasn't anything like Brandy on the Rocks, but that's fine.
Okay. Maybe not, but.
So I know everything's going to happen in this show.
Yes, tell us. Tell us everything you just took away from this.
There will be characters who have some drama. They have some ups and downs. They go through a storyline and an arc. Some of them die, some of them change, and some of them collide. Is it pretty? Can't be wrong with that.
No.
That
You gotta tell us, Jonathan, how many wheels were there?
I'm not allowed to write in my book while looking down. Got scolded from that by multiple sources, you and the internet. So I didn't get to count the wheels, but upon recollection, there's so many fast cuts. Probably 7?
7? Okay.
7 wheel shots.
I only remember 2, but there's probably more.
When they roll up to the bookshop, they definitely show the vehicle twice.
Oh, you're counting that twice.
It's not per item, it's shots.
Okay.
So,
okay.
In Code Geass, they might show the
I
Lancelot a couple times.
Okay.
But if the Lancelot shows the wheels a couple times, then it counts like the number of wheels shots.
Then I gotcha.
Does that make sense?
It makes sense.
Okay. So, and I mean, I think they showed the train
The exterior of the train a few times. Yeah.
a couple times. So yeah, my estimate is like 7
Okay.
because it wasn't a ton.
Mm-hmm.
In the detectives, they didn't really show wheels. It was kind of cutting off the top of the vehicle. Yeah, 7's my estimate.
Okay. All right. So what is a lot of things have been kind of laid out there in front of us.
I mean, I guess you could say that. There's just kind of a lot of things.
Yeah. So for a first episode, what do you think of all of everything that we've just
I think you pick shows that require so much paying attention that. Now, granted, you pick shows that there's probably great rewatch value on.
Uh-huh.
But for a first-time viewing, what am I don't know. There's magic, there's gangsters, there's trains,
And there's immortal gangsters too, apparently.
Yeah, I
Well, I will simplify this with a single point. Something that came out of the opening discussion between Carol and the vice president, Gustav St. Germain of the Daily Days. It's like, wait a minute, what was it? You think this whole thing started when the Mafia and the Camorra decided to go after each other, and then we just got everything else. We would just see nonsense there.
Right.
So, aside from, that's all I'm going to say.
Yeah.
For starters.
Yeah. I mean, I get that they introduced probably all of the characters, maybe.
I won't even say that, but yeah, probably.
Main characters.
Yeah.
Main characters. The thing is, like, I haven't seen the other 2 episodes, so, sorry. I think within the first 3 episodes, you will probably see all of the main characters.
Yeah, probably.
So I think they tried to cover a fair smattering of, there's 13 main characters, right?
Oh, I don't even I'd have to look at the title sequence to see all of the
We
people
saw
they
these
named
two
in there.
people.
Yep.
We saw the detectives.
Since-
Those are the
I don't
detectives,
think,
right?
No, I don't think this will be a spoiler for me to now point at these different characters here off the front cover, since we got, I think, all of these characters' names in the intro sequence.
We saw them.
Yep. So I can.
Saw her. We saw that person.
I don't necessarily remember all of their first name, last names, but I might have these two confused because they look very similar in this.
We saw Squinty Eyes.
Yep. So that's Miza.
No racism.
That's Miza right there. I don't know which.
We saw him.
Yep, Firo.
We saw that boy.
Firo Prochanezo. Cheslon Mayer. I think.
Oh, that's the gangster guy. These aren't the
Let me think.
detectives. Those
This
are probably
is-
the detectives.
I think so. I might have these two switched. I don't remember the other one's name, but I'm assuming this is Keith Brando, I think his name was, and Luck Gandor. Those are three brothers there. Ennis, Firo, Miza. We just heard that line from. Oh gosh, my brain is drawing a huge blank. Let's jump to the ones I remember. Jacuzzi Splot, Niece, Ollie? Something like that. Shoot, I know his name, but it's escaping me. Dallas Genoward, the person that has supposedly gone missing and has pointed the finger at other person. Oh gosh, I hate the fact that I can't remember those two names right now.
Okay, we'll come back to it.
Oh gosh, I hate myself so much. Oh shoot. Rachel. That's all I can remember off the top of my head. Oh yeah. Rachel LaFiere. I don't remember her full name off the top of my head. We'll see all of them again in the next episode's title sequence, but shoot. I am drawing a blank. It's a lot of people. I haven't seen the show in a while.
It's a lot of people. Yeah, no, it's a ton of people.
So it's so many people that I used to know all of their names, but I don't. But they all have distinct enough character designs to make you able to, at least for me, I'm able to at least compartmentalize them and keep track of them, even if I don't remember their names. Just like in daily conversation at work. I see people constantly, hey, you, who I've seen like every week for the last 6 months. I don't know your name, but hey, I'll see you again next week. You know? One of those things.
Right. We report the outcome of things to others.
Oh. What Carol said.
Yep.
What about it?
I think that's going to be a through line for the story, at least based on one episode, as they're like our narrators, it seems like.
Okay.
Or they're not even narrators. They're like the weavers of the loom of the story. Which, because they're not narrating everything, unless they are, and it's just we don't need their voiceover for it.
Like they are the characters that begin the tale.
So they're bards. Well,
actually, that's it. If you don't remember, just a hint, in case you didn't remember, that was the line that the Vice President said verbatim from the episode we just watched.
I believe you. I hope that there's a little grace on this show for not catching everything.
No. That was really mean of me. I know. I shall be as gracious as I will take advantage of wit.
I'm sure you will.
I will take advantage of wit when I'm able to.
I
but
have no doubt in my mind.
I will be
No
very
doubt in my
gracious
mind.
because here's a hint. This might be a little bit of a confusing show for a first time viewer.
That sounds just like my prediction. Spot on. All right. So that's episode 1, guys. Hope you enjoyed it. Stay tuned. We're going to check out the next episode. Yeah. My prediction was... Did you want to say something?
Oh, go ahead with your prediction. I can jump in after that.
Oh, I'm just going to reference the thing earlier.
Well,
characters,
you're saying for the next
drama,
episode...
plot, ups and downs.
Yeah. So with this show, as I mentioned, we're going to be kind of blitzing and marathoning through it. Depending on how the editing and rendering process goes on our end, what I'm probably looking at doing is these are going to come out every other day, and then we'll be done with it. So just breeze through it real quick. So if this came out on Sunday, then next one will be Tuesday. We will be taking a break for Thanksgiving, so no video on Turkey Day. But if that is indeed the case, if you're watching this on Sunday, then that means things have went well. If you're not watching this on Sunday, it means something went wrong.
Like, subscribe, comment, tag a friend. Click the Patreon link if you want to buy us some coffee. We like Dodger coffee. Or if you want to help us afford our next anime, that's cool too. Otherwise, stay tuned for my delirium in trying to follow the 13-character storyline. Pow, pow. Pow, pow.